Greetings, thank you for joining us in this broadcast. So, this isn't going to be the Reptilian channel, but it kind of seems that way at the moment. So, but this is for educational purposes, not to freak anybody out or anything. So, there's the Alpha Draconian. It's like a joke from coming from them. Alpha Draconian World Affairs. And an Osiris, Atlantean channeling. That should be a little bit different. So, go from. So the idea for the Draconian connection is to give a more their point of view. Seeing how they won't leave me alone, they seem to be happier with me bringing this through. So there are little bits here and there. They're not going to tell their whole life story, but they're going to give a little bit more detail of what they're up to, from what I can gather. So we'll see where that goes. And Atlantean channeling is a lighter energy. We'll just see where that ends up. And there's something else. I'll save it for tomorrow. So, all right. Get these guys off my back. SimonTower.com, my private sessions. The scheduler. We're going to have channel, Google Hangouts, Zoom, and channel by Google Hangouts, Skype. Anyway, channeling by phone. Yeah. Shop here. I'm on. I forget what. I'm on the 9th or the 10th. Here, same situation here. Webinar. Sign up. We have a webinar this Saturday. We have a webinar this Friday. Wednesday. Wednesday, standard web webinar. And then we have the Saturday webinar for the mentorship. Social network. Grab it. And backup channel. Which I'll never have to use. Because I guess they delete everything if you don't use it. So it is nice to upload new stuff. But nobody's using it. So BitChute people use. And I get some attention from that. But it doesn't work very well. So it's nice to have a backup, but nice if it worked. So, all right, we're going to. Tomorrow I'm going to go into the Ryans, but with my perspective, what I'm picking up on, but I'm going to leave that for tomorrow. Of course, they might say something here. So Draco, I feel like they're just going to go into more detail. We'll see how this goes. Yeah, I haven't really connected them in a long time, actually. I wonder why. Yeah, don't scare everybody away. So I'm just going to connect to the Empire, I guess. Their fleet, and then we'll go into Osiris. So blessings. Here we go. Greetings to you, Brother Draconians. We are the collective. Greetings to your humble society. It is not us holding your world captive. It is your contract with us that's holding your world captive. If that makes any sense to you. So it's a contract you made with us and other beings to hold your world hostage. Well, it's not exactly that, but it might seem that way. But it's also bringing the brighter side out of you. Isn't it bringing a better side of you out by going through all this? Isn't this forcing some of you to see through your reality a little bit quicker? You would have done if everything was going well. You were sitting at a beach all day. You would never want anything to ever change. But seeing how life is pressuring many, maybe overpressure, but this world isn't meant to stay in its way it is forever. It's always moving. And as many of you are connected to your star people, Your attractive reptilians are connecting to them. You're connecting to, outside of this world. Then it becomes more, obvious where you're heading. Now, obviously, throughout time, channeling has been existence, but not everyone called it aliens. They called it angels. They call it your mom, your dad, your grandma, whatever it is, or the spirits. To keep things a little bit more, just kept it better for everyone. Let them so they can sleep at night well. So now you're going into more of a galactic energy, as during your 1950s and before, 40s, 50s, a lot of alien visitations, yes, might have horrified some people, but let me tell you, we're here though. So that was one of the reasons for it. That wasn't entirely the reason behind it, but sometimes that shock and awe, because your world seems to like the drama. So some of you signed up for the drama. Obviously, some of you are still terrorized by some of that. That's not the only reason why we're here. As a Draconian race, some of us have wings, not all of us. Some of us don't feel as of a need for that. But yes, our job is to watch your planet, how you evolve, how you get to know each other. As you watch your businesses, we watch you're our business, and you watch your business. So we don't watch every aspect of what you're doing, but we have an idea of what you're doing. Yes, usually when you have private times together, we just leave you alone, let you do your thing. But overall, we know what's going on in your life. Not to say we know the details of it, but we know what the energy are, where you are at the time. Let's put it that way. We don't know the ins and outs of what's in your wallet or anything. I don't care about that. It just, if you're part of the program, outside of the program, or your interface. Some of you look at us all the time, and that gets kind of annoying sometimes. You're prying into our business. That's not very helpful. But yes, your politicians is humorous. Good luck with that whole situation. On our worlds, we would not let that go to this far. But in your planet, seeing how you don't believe that we exist, it's easier for those things to occur. Well, humans don't really want to see what's going on here, as some of you realize that. They want to see half the story, but don't want to see the full story. So that's fine. We'll continue to do what we're doing. So keep back. Yeah, just pretend we're not here. And that's huge. That's most of your collective. So you're going to have the same problems. Now, some of you are healing that, as you know. You're healing the timelines. You're letting go of old energy. Some of you are living the life of bliss right now, while others are in panic mode. Your Egyptian energies, yes, are founding fathers, you can say. Or Egypt is our masterpiece. We brought it to its knees. Wasn't always the intention of that, but was of a higher vibration. But then it became human, and it became influenced by Draco beings and others. Your feline beings. See, after the Draconians started battling other worlds, the felines started to realize we need to up our game a little bit because our worlds are being taken over. So, and this world has the remnants of that. As yes, what we feel, we're still the first ones here. Send us a birthday card. Anniversary card. We're always happy to, we're always happy to take credit where it's due. But, and then other beings came in to plug into our reality that we created. So we're not exactly the founders of all of this, but we're great influencers. Well, we brought humanity down to its knees. And many humans act like us right now. Aggressive, impatient, know everything. Those are the beautiful charms of a reptilian. Well, at least not all reptilians are like that, but some of the most smart ones are like that. Um, so, even your Martians, yes, they do influence your world greatly. Martians bring a lot of crystal energies to your world. You might not be aware of it, even. We'll just leave it generic with that. But they do bring crystals here. And they know how to program them well, which programs your society. Basically, they can connect to a crystal energy and talk to it, basically, and make it do things, which causes the energy field around that connects to your minds, the satellite brain, the reptilian brain that you're all connected to, our contribution of all. We're always there to take. We're always there to, get, credit where it's due. Once again. Well, we also think we're like the founders of your universe. Obviously, we're not, but we feel like we brought a big impact to it. We brought the universe to its knees too. Basically, we're like your Vietnamese. If you want more details of it, we're similar to that. Like in Vietnam, we'll just do anything. Guerrilla warfare at a whole new level. They learned a lot from us, actually. So they're not entirely reptilian, but they do have a lot of our influences, which we're greatly proud of. In Cambodia, areas like that is very similar. We can go on and on. Amazon area has a lot of Draco energies there. Now, we don't find many of you wandering through the Amazon recently. That we find that very shameful. A lot of our bases are there, but not like you're going to find them. We realize yes, some is underground, but a lot of them are above ground, but you don't see them. Because you're not going to go into a jungle anytime soon. Well, we don't see many of you there. We're really missing your presence there. Places that are very difficult to get to has a draconian presence normally. Well, South Africa is a good example of that. South Africa is our kingdom. That's where a lot of our DNA is still it's very active. And yes, even weather anomalies, a lot of it's done in South Africa. A lot of the planning is done in South Africa. That's why people feel our energies there so much. That's why it's not exactly a friendly place. Yes, it is true some of us are losing our grip on the planet, but doesn't mean you're going to fully let it go. What this new age means is that you'll start seeing alien beings, possibly Draconians or reptilian beings, and their attractiveness. You'll see them in their glory, their beauty, and you might be, it might be a little bit much for some of you, but some of you might start getting glimpses of our existence here, and you might, just for a second. It's like you're just minding your own business. You're outside or wherever. And you're just like, did I just see something? Chances are you did. So, yeah, we're becoming less hidden. So that's what your time frame is going into. Now, it doesn't mean we're here to scare you or anything like that. First of all, we see ourselves as beautiful beings. Your world, we're not sure what you guys are doing. But, we don't feel anything ugly about us. Your world is, you have a lot to work on, as you can see. So, yeah, you picked up a lot of traits from your ancestors. The felines, one thing about them, yes, they have the comfort, they can relax, live good, and then we creep in and cause all mayhem. So, real world countries, underworld, and other places, comfort. We don't invade all planets, no. Some worlds are like so positive and oh god, we just can't take your world back. It's like they're just so happy and friendly. It's like they're glad we even invaded it. It's like it took the whole fun out of it. We can't. There's too much love and kiss. We can't take. We just leave. Some might stay, but the rest of us this is not fun anymore. We have to go to places where there's fear, where we can pull fear. But that's where you're warning. You're warning of how to overcome fear. This planet is filled with a fear. Yes, we're blessed you with religion, but who are your gods that you're afraid of? Well, notice you say gods. Well, who do you think built the things? Built your infrastructure. As that's going to be looked into a little bit more deeper in your future of religions, like who are these gods? Are they Babylonian gods? Are they Roman gods? Are they beautiful reptilian beings? I mean, it's not taken seriously at this point, but it will be in your future. You don't have much choice. Well, if you want to unwrap your world and see the alien races here, you might as well go to its founders. Yes, there's a bunch of lizard people. Yes, in our grandeur. Yeah, we're there for pictures. Some of us are, at least. There's a lot of Andromedan energies here. Andromedans know how we think. They know how we interact and know what kind of clothes we wear. They know things before we do it sometimes. So is that a good or bad? Well, that's why some of you are here from Andromeda, or a lot of you here, because they know how we operate. So you might not remember everything because we wiped your brains, and we're going to keep doing that as long as we can. But Andromedan vibrations are here now. The positive, it's hard to find out. I mean, Andromedans they have difficulty in their society, but normally they're pretty decent overall. Doesn't mean they're not perfect in any ways. No, because we took that away. Well, we made it challenging to be perfect, but we did kind of move things around for them. So in your transformation, you will see also more sun energies within your collective. Sun vibrations, you might feel the sun energy because it plays a big role in your evolution, in your transformation. Higher dimension energies, doesn't mean you have to look at the sun, but the sun's carrying a lot of information here. And keeping your world hidden from itself, meaning that the sun rays is your reality that's used to hide alien beings. So once you figure out around that little clock, let us know. Some of you are seeing through it already and see our presence. So you wonder how we do things. It's through your sun. Sometimes it's through your moon. It's mostly through your sun. So we know how to cloak ourselves with your sun energy. Not that we are a third dimension. Some of us are. But a lot of us are, we know what we're doing. Like your world. Well, when you create a cloaking device, we'll share technology. How about that? So yeah, we're we might be the biggest pain in the ass in the universe. Depends. But we're also up there for teachers of worlds. For worlds that feel like they know it all, like the Atlanteans, feel like we have it all figured out. Oh, we're just so perfect. We have everything all figured out. Then we show up. And they found out, what have we done? Arrogance now we have arrogance too. But at least we follow up with it. So if you think you're the greatest thing in the world, you better show it. But if you're just talking to us, if you get defeated, yeah, you leave in shame. Just like your Romans had and your Greeks had at the same time. Or modern day too. So yeah, we're just your friendly neighborhood reptile people. And you can thank us for why you do not see alien beings. Because we play a big part in that. Others have advanced it more. So we're definitely not seeing, but we're one of the founders of that. We're basically one of the races that kind of took control of your society when it was out of control. Well, of course, who made it out of control? Yeah. Well, we were part of that too. We're part of out of control and then control. We take something really nice take it down, and call it ours. It's that simple. But you're learning from that. So I'm a neutral being. I'm just telling you how it is. At least one aspect of it. There's much more. But now we're not the big bads of everything, but we're pretty up there. We're not the only ones causing difficulties on the world, but yes, Archon beings we have not quite mastered, like ever. Archon beings are more complicated. We're not going to go into that. Basically, Archons. Archons can shift your reality, shift your dimensions. They're the ones that build a lot of their timelines on their planet. That's why even some aliens beings no idea what's going on. Because sometimes an Archon timeline can come in and nobody knows what's going on. Some aliens can tap into it, understand it. But you're kind of going through an Archon timeline right now where everything's changing. So some timelines just come in and your Archons are connected to your own Mayan calendar also, your main calendar. Of course, they're not always the most easiest beings to tap into. It's not that important at this time. But the Archons build your infrastructure, how your timelines even operate here, or they're a big part of it. But they left us to mingle with and play with their toys, basically. They're still here, and we can't even figure them out sometimes. But they're not aggressive. They're not aggressive like we are. To a degree, but not like us. They shift things around. And reptilians conquer. Like many of you are conquerors. We kind of force that on your planet. And some of you are, not everybody's here for that. Because when you have the Andromedan side, it's like, I'm not going to be a conqueror. I'm not going to be part of that. And some of you Andromedans know how to dial back our programming. We're just going to put that out there. We program humans, and some of you just see right through it. It's like, you're not letting us have any fun here. So at least you have an idea of how we operate. So this is kind of like a disclosure of how we do things. Not everything, of course. All right. Let's take care. And remember, we're here. Greetings to you. I am Osiris. Greetings of Atlantis. Greetings to your world. Yes, Atlantean knowledge is part of perfection. Yes, there's many flaws, but also how high dimensional can we get your world to? 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th dimension. How far can we place your world for the canvas of your reality? Where you're like, even jobs as like careers, but not in the slave sense that you're living in, but basically built a lot of careers. And that sounds a little bit strange, but we did build infrastructure of how you do things during the Atlantean time period of carpentry. Of course, it was usually at a 4th dimensional level, 5th dimension, but also it can be done at a 3rd dimensional level too. So even healers, every type of job you can think of that you're experiencing now, we had a place in that. Basically to build what your world is. Now, there wasn't the vast amount of what you have today. It wasn't always the case in the beginning. It was very tribal in the beginning. It was very simplistic. Now, yes, there's been civilizations before that, but a lot of those civilizations were over, and I had to rebuild it to where you are today. So, yeah, a reset. So, Atlantean knowledge wasn't just about DNA, but it was also about how you live. And yes, the Lemurians built a lot of that also, but they didn't really have the job world that you have today. That wasn't their thing. As we were Atlantean beings were basically creating our own demise. As we were very connected to the spirit world. As our connection to the spirit was so easy to communicate, to make it easier for him. We just can connect to spirit like you were taught to friends. We felt the spirit vibrations. Yes, we were more of a physical energy, though. Yes, we might have been at a sixth dimension, fifth dimension energy. We're still physical compared to spirit, where spirit beings can come and go through bodies, meaning a lot of the spirit beings would just, like a walk-in, would come through. But you can have a conversation with that spirit. It's like, I think I'm done with this body. You want to switch out? And then another being would come in. Just like that. That was in the early days of Atlantis. And also the structure of Atlantis was built in a way where it kind of seeded the earth. It was like a welcoming energy to other beings, because that wasn't always the case before we showed up. It's like some beings didn't even want anything to do with this world. We were basically like a welcome center, you can say. So we can all learn from each other. Reptilian, it does not matter, because we knew our limitations with reptilian beings. We knew what they were capable of, but we didn't always realize our own faults. But of course, Atlantis was around for quite some time, as many of you can feel that energy. And now you're bringing that energy back into your own world. Yes, just how to tap into the old world, because it is an old world, basically, is eventually you will feel your past lives come very clearly of why you would choose this time to come. Many of you have been feline energies, feline beings, and some of you just waited for the earth to get to this point before you re-entered. So let the world learn what it needs to do, let it go through its hardships, what it has to. We'll assist as alien beings. But when it gets to a point where we're back to spirituality again, we'll reincarnate and assist it to go into a new direction. Because it was very difficult for beings. Well, some alien beings, yes, they have a spiritual point of view. And if your world's not offering what they're looking for, they're not going to incarnate here. Yes, they incarnate as a wizard or a witch, but if they feel it's not going to fulfill their needs as a being, it's not going to incite them, they're not going to do it. So allow others to build that structure. It's like, this world isn't for me, but they'll find somebody that might be. Like, you can even build like an avatar, because you are avatars technically. You can, as a Atlantean being, you might not want to incarnate here again, but you'll build the timeline, the life, your contract with the earth. You'll actually build it. But it's like, I don't want to incarnate in this world. Does anybody want to take what I just created and make it your own, but assist Earth? Like, you want to be a writer or scientist. A lot of us Atlantean beings are building, who you are today. We assist your timelines that you create here, your contract with the Earth. How you look, how your hair is. A lot of us built a lot of that. In spirit, of course. Because we knew how everything worked well. Atlantean beings, most of them did not reincarnate again. Some of them did. Some of them became, all kinds of things. Not always the most positive. Some of them did. But a lot of them just gave a chance to other beings to incarnate here. So we already had our time here. Let others come in. So, and others that came in, left, came back, came in, come back. Not trapped. No. You come here because you want to. Others that get trapped here are usually at a lower vibration. They get like your 3D human, as you call it. They get stuck into a cycle. And if you tell them this, it's like, I think you've been stuck here for thousands of years, and they'll just say, what are you talking about? It's almost like being a ghost. It's like they don't know that they're in that cycle. And you can tell them, you can help all you can, they still won't listen. So just like ghost beings that they don't know that they're deceased, you can tell them all day, they still won't listen. Some of them wander around for thousands of years. Just like a human does the same thing through incarnation cycle. They just don't listen. So those of you that are afraid of coming back here, we're having this conversation. The chances of you coming back here is very slim. Now, some of you might change your mind. It's like, you know what? I think I'm going to go about it again. That's different. And some of you just, because you're already having conversations with us before you leave. And some of you just like, okay, well, we've been working together. It's like when we work on a human incarnation, it's like you're working on your masterpiece, basically. And yes, in spirit, you show it off. Here, you might not do that, of course. It's like, what am I thinking? So obviously, the more challenging lives. Now, some have met many of you, all of you, but challenging lives. In spirit, depending on who you are, will show it to others and teach them. It's like, look what I went through. Look at all the things I went through. It's like showing them a movie. Like they can put the thought in their minds. Here, I'm gonna give you a movie, and you don't have to. We'll just show it's like you tap them on the head, and all of a sudden they see the movie, your life instantly. It's like, whoa. I'm not sure if I want that or not. But yeah, that's another way of learning lessons. But they get the vibe of it, but they don't know how it feels to experience what you've been through unless it incarnates into a world similar to yours. It's like they don't always learn the lesson. You might see the lesson, you might read the lesson in a book of not to do this, not to do that, or whatever it might be, but when you experience, it's a whole different story. This is why when you incarnate, you create your problems. Well, yeah, because you're like a book about, you're like a book with empty pages, and you're there to fill it up, your adventure. It might not feel like an adventure to some of you, but it is. Because realize your challenges here, yes, it might go through complete hell. You can have everything in the world and feel like you're going through hell. But you can also teach that to other beings. It works. You'll find some. It will always help somebody, no matter where, because you're always assisting others in their growth. Everybody's learning from each other always. So you might not say, "Why am I living this meaningless life?" Well, it might seem that way on the surface, and in this world has set up. Yes, it might seem that way, but it's not. It's for your growth and others, the growth of others, and the planet itself too. You'd be surprised that some of you go through your own difficulties. Even Mother Earth's going through those difficulties, such as relationship difficulties. Mother Earth goes through those things too. So, blessings to you.